Let's talk about Georgia Tech recruiting because they are currently a top 25 team. Yes, Brent Key and the Yellow Jackets currently sit on 22 commitments, and they are inside that top 25 after beating FSU, beating Ohio State, beating Tennessee for offensive lineman Josh Petty. The five-star is now a Yellow Jacket. Steve, what is cooking in Atlanta?
Stanford was another program that really wanted to
Yeah.
land on three industry five-star Josh Petty, but Brent Key, Georgia Tech, this staff, they have a lot of momentum on the recruiting trail right now. Going back to 2017, that's as far back as the on-three industry recruiting rankings go. Georgia Tech has never finished higher than 27. They typically finish in that 40, 50, 60 range. But right now, there's a lot of energy coming around this program, coming off an exciting season they had this past year. There's a lot of expectations on Georgia Tech football this year. And I use the word resources and infrastructure a lot. I think that Georgia Tech is doing a very good job in those arenas as well, and it's allowing them to land guys like Josh Petty. These are very competitive recruitments. Ohio State was a program that tried to make a couple late pushes for Josh Petty, but playing for home, playing for an offensive line guy, feeling at home, playing for a program that's on the rise in the state. I think Georgia Tech was able to secure a pledge for Josh Petty because of those reasons.
And now another major development with Georgia Tech recruiting that went down on Sunday night. Bogart, Georgia defensive lineman, a four-star prospect, Christian Garrett, backed off his commitment to the Georgia Bulldogs. And within an hour of him doing that, Steve, you jumped into the recruiting prediction machine and put a pick in for Georgia Tech. And the Yellow Jackets are now trending for another on 300 prospect. What's going on here?
Yeah, prior to our buddy Hayes Fawcett announcing that decommitment on three, heard rumblings that it was in the works and going to happen. Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt, and Stanford were three programs I heard right away that he has interest in, but the buzz is around Georgia Tech. This is a top 100 recruit when you look at just the on-three player rankings. Charles Power, Cody Belair and company, very high on Christian Garrett, and so is this Georgia Tech coaching staff. They never stopped recruiting him after he committed to Georgia, and I think it's going to pay off for them as this process continues.
All right. Do you think there's a chance that Tennessee gets back involved in this one? I know that they've kind of loaded up since Christian Garrett decided on committing to Georgia originally, but do you think that the Vols could get back in this one?
There's going to be a lot of twists and turns with a lot of prospects as this 2025 cycle continues going into the season, and people are watching senior years, assessing their needs, who may go in the portal, who may go in the NFL draft. But right now, I like where Georgia Tech stands here. They were one of three finalists alongside the Vols. They may have finished number 2 anyways, and they look like they're number 1 right now.
All right.